Beth Jacobson.
I'm Pam Lathrop.
And this is the April edition of the Beloit Today Show.
And we are sitting outside at a picnic table.
Yes, we're anticipating the spring like everyone else, I'm sure.
One of these days it's coming. I know it's coming. I see the plants coming up, and today our show is sort of focused on spring.
Yes, absolutely. We have a new executive director at the chamber that you'll be interviewing.
Yes, Tim Dunner.
And we're also talking to Norma like we do every year about yard waste. So hopefully when the seasons decide to change, we can get out in our yards and clean them up.
And I'll be talking about Arbor Day with Mike Ferger. That will be at the end of this month. And then we will also be talking to Terry Downing about Fair Housing Month.
Yes, so we have a jam-packed show today.
And stay tuned for the fair housing information because you can vote for posters that are at City Hall. Okay. Today we are interviewing Mike Ferger, who's with the Public Works facility. What's your title, Mike?
I'm Forestry Operations Supervisor.
So obviously we're going to be talking about forestry and trees, near and dear to his heart.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be talking about Arbor Day today. Arbor Day we celebrate because we are Tree City USA as part of the
National Arbor Day Foundation.
So that is one of the 4 things that you have to do celebrating Arbor Day to be a National Tree City USA. So, Mike, when are we going to be celebrating that?
Our celebration this year will be on Friday the 25th at 10 a.m. at Horsewhite Park.
And that's certainly open to the public.
Oh, we encourage everybody to come.
Absolutely. Now, what kind of a tree will you be planting this year?
We'll be planting a white oak tree.
And how big do those get?
I'm hoping this thing will live for a couple hundred years and grow 80 feet tall.
That's awesome. Who is going to take part in this celebration this year?
Well, we have the Beloit High School Choir and the ROTC. I have Beloit historian Bill Bulgren will give us some history on Horsewhite Park, and it is the oldest park in Beloit.
And they have that beautiful gazebo. Will you be planting near the gazebo?
I haven't picked out the spot, but I'm hoping to get it near the gazebo.
Okay, I know the Steve Gregg Memorial benches in Horsewhite Park too.
Oh yes.
So yes, so that's a really neat park. People should stop over and see it. But close by that park is Mechanics Green, which is our arboretum.
It's 2 blocks away, and we have many different varieties of trees there. Many of them are marked with plaques, so you know what tree you're looking at. So it is very educational, and it's a fun park to go to if you got some time.
And I know oftentimes kids in grade school need to do leaf collections, and that's a great place to go for a leaf collection. I
know that's where I went.
A couple years ago.
Yes, the trees were much smaller then.
But is there anything else exciting about Arbor Day that we need to know?
Well, we encourage everybody to plant a tree because the trees do so much for us. The canopy and the energy savings and the stormwater runoff savings for having trees on terraces and trees in the yards is people never realized until we started doing studies on that. So,
are we going to have a terrace tree planting service again this year?
I currently have an ad in the paper. If you'd like a tree planted on your terrace, please call us here at DPW at 364-2929 and get your name on the list, and we'll be glad to plant a tree in front of your home.
Well, there you have it. You can come to celebrate Arbor Day on April 25th at 10 o'clock at Horsewhite Park, and you can also reserve to get your own tree planted on your terrace. So please be sure to call Mike and stop by for Arbor Day. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Beth Jacobson, and I'm here with Norma Vargas. Norma is probably who will answer the phone if you call Public Works, and she knows everything. So we're interviewing her today. We're interviewing Norma today about yard waste, which she gets a lot of questions about in the spring.
Yes.
Right? Lots of calls.
Lots of calls.
And we're here to let residents know how they can have the city pick up the yard waste, or where they can deliver it on the weekends if they choose to do that also.
Correct.
So Let's start. Yard waste usually starts in April.
Correct.
pickup.
It's the second full week of each month. It's always the second full week of each month. A lot of people are confused. You have to look at when the month began. If the month began in the middle of a week, you can't count that week. So the next following Monday will be the first full week of the month.
Right.
So then the Monday after that is the second week. That's when we usually start collecting the yard waste.
And one easy way for our residents to not have to think about it is to use their calendar, right?
Correct. Our 2014 solid waste calendar is out at the Treasury Department, Leisure Services, the Beloit Public Library. Here at our facility, you can always call, come pick one up. It's full of information. It tells you when our programs are running, when we run behind due to a holiday, and when our recycling center is closed.
So this is full of information. I know that my dad has it right in the kitchen and he always knows what's happening. Norma spends a lot of time on this, and each month it kind of talks about different topics that would be conducive for that month based on the weather. And so if you grab one of these, keep it the whole year, because like she said, right around Thanksgiving and Christmas, the
Correct.
solid waste changes. So this is something that all residents should have. It usually comes out, when does it come out in the?
It comes out in the State Line Shopper. We try to aim for the first Sunday of every year, and it's free for the residents, and they get it delivered at their porch. Wherever their newspaper gets delivered at,
Right.
that's where it is.
So if you didn't pick it up, you can come here, City Hall.
City Hall, the second floor, City Hall, Treasury Department, our facility, Leisure Services,
The library.
the library, thank you, the library, and Grinnell Hall.
Nice. So those are all of our friends of Public Works. Now back to yard waste, there's some things that you have to do when you bundle your yard waste so that the city picks it up. Can you talk about some of the sizes that we need, the weight of the garbage bags, things like that?
You need to put your yard waste in a clean 39-gallon container with a yard waste sticker on it, or it can be a paper yard waste bag. We also collect Back to Nature biodegradable bag. That is the only bag, Back to Nature biodegradable bag, that is allowed at the compost center. So you can pick it up, put a yard waste sticker on it, put your bags, leaves and yard waste clippings in there. Now take it, the bags and the container cannot weigh more than 60 pounds. If you're using a clean 39-gallon container, it cannot be more than 39 gallons. It has to be under.
And then also, if for the stickers, let's talk about where they could get the stickers.
The stickers come in sheets of 5, and even if you have some left over from a previous purchase, you can still use them. You purchase them here at our facility, 2351 Springbrook Court, the second floor Treasury Department. The Grinnell Hall has them. Leisure Services has them. Woodman's, both Ace Hardware locations and all Walgreens locations has them.
So all places that you can run into easily, and
Correct.
make sure you put that sticker on. You don't want to wait another month for our staff to pick them up. And then let's talk about branches too, because I know that that's something, if you're, even big bushes, I suppose, can get larger than 4 feet.
Yes, your bushes, we do not take any branches bigger than 4 inches in diameter. It has to be under that. And when you bundle your branches, you cut them up, you bundle them, they can be in a 1 by 2 foot bundle. Cannot be more than 60 pounds, and you put a yard waste sticker on that too. You tie it up, put a sticker on it, and set it out, and we'll take it.
Now, if you're someone that would prefer to take it out to Leaflawn, one of our partners, can you talk about our partnership with Leaflawn?
Yes, Leaflawn Compost Center is a private entity, it's not a city-owned facility. They do have their own fees and schedules and hours. The residents are more than welcome to come and use it, but we do encourage them to come and call them prior to getting there, and their number is 364-1909. Because again, they do have their requirements, their times, and they have their own rules and regulations.
And Leaflawn they do have some funny hours based on the month, so that's
Correct.
something to consider. Now, Norma, if anyone has questions to ask you, what is your phone number?
Our number here at the facility is 364-2929, and my extension directly is 7003.
And I call Norma all the time when I see stuff on my way to work, so make sure that if you have questions, call Public Works. Otherwise, you should have all the tools, now that you've watched the show,
Yes.
to prepare your yard for the summer. Thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Tim Dutter is the new guy in town. He's the chamber executive. Really though, Tim, you're not the new guy in town, are you? You're returning.
Yes, I've been here. I was born and raised here out in the township, and I left when I was about 17, so I grew up here.
And we're so happy to have you back.
Thank you.
And how long have you been on the job here now?
A little over a month. I started on March 3rd.
And you jumped right into it with the chamber dinner, which I heard was very successful.
Yeah, we had a record-setting attendance. I think almost like 430. Great turnout. I appreciated all the support. It was a little made me a little bit uneasy being here for 1 week and addressing that large of a crowd. So, but it was a good start to that.
That's great. And Amy's a great support staff. She's really held it together.
Amy's been absolutely amazing. I kind of tease her and say, "What's it like to train your boss on how to do his job?"
Well, you come to us with a lot of experience. You came from Colorado, and what did you do in Colorado?
Colorado, I worked for the Colorado Springs Regional Business Alliance, which is the merger between the Chamber of Commerce and the Economic Development Corporation. My role there was I was the manager of business development, so a lot of focus on local industry, getting out to the companies there and talking to them, collecting data from them, and then also doing issue resolution, which tied in well here because they actually use the same software and the same system to do that. Rock County 5.0 does a lot of work with that, and so does Andrew Yankee with the Economic Development Corporation here.
Great. So, you must have some vision for the chamber now.
I do. So, and you'll hear me constantly saying the same messaging that we focus on 4 different areas basically. Our business development, community development, our government affairs, and our events. And I can expand on those if you want. But
Yes, absolutely.
You might get a fire hose. Sure, business development is similar to what I was doing in the Springs. It's getting out, talking to the companies. We collect a survey, we just want the data from them so we can compile it and put it in an aggregate form and tell people this is what we're finding. Here's the bottlenecks, here's the similarities, here's the differences. So that's business development. And then while you're meeting with companies, you can help connect them to other companies or the things that they're not aware of in the community. To me, that's business development. Community development is when you start to look at your workforce and when you start to look at the rising professionals that are here, closing that gap, working with the educational institutions, those types of things. And then government affairs. We just had our first meeting yesterday. It's taking political stances on things that are good for business and taking political stances against things that are bad for business. In a nutshell, that's what it basically is. We have a government affairs committee. We'll also bring our legislators in to address us on things that we should be aware of. And then our events, our programs. We have our business after hours. We have a 5K run coming up. We have our annual dinner, our golf classic. So we're constantly trying to provide that platform for networking for businesses.
How many businesses do we have in Beloit that you'll be working with?
The chamber has about 350 that are members, and I think the number is somewhere around 1,600 businesses total in the greater Beloit region area.
Okay, which covers more than just the city.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely be getting out and visiting people.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes. I've taken a few tours. I'm meeting with community leaders, everything from Kurt Bauer up at the Wisconsin Manufacturers up in Madison to Can Do Industries up in Janesville, took a tour of that, to met with Doug at the YMCA the other day. So I'm trying to get out and talk to as many people, see what's on their mind as I can.
Sounds like you really hit the ground running.
I was prepared to do that.
Yeah,
I had
that's
meetings
great.
scheduled. I was scheduling my first week while I was still in Colorado Springs, trying to set it up to meet with Larry, our city manager, and other community leaders, so that first week I was already off and running on appointments.
Well, that's great. I know one of the questions that people often ask the chamber is, why should I join the chamber? What would you respond to people?
Sure, it's everybody wants to know what's my return on investment, and I usually try to talk to a company and say, what are your interests? Are you interested in government affairs? Would you like to be a part of that committee? Because we can get them engaged. Is it business development? Would you like to go on some of those sites, some survey visits with me? If you're having troubles getting into a company, you want to sit down and talk to their CEO, maybe we can open that door for you. We're connected. We connect the dots, basically, is what I tell people. And then there's that platform for networking, which most businesses are interested in. They want some type of marketing, advertising, so you have those opportunities through our website, through our newsletters. But it's really just about connecting people and forming relationships, and we're kind of a doorway to do that. So that, to me, is the number one reason that people join. Networking, getting engaged, and getting to be part of their community, basically.
And since you're moving back to the community, you are part of the community. Your family still lives here?
Yes.
And you were telling me that, well, I met your wife at the run, the Mushing for Meals run, and you're telling me, you know, you're here, you're doing homework.
Sure.
You're
I have a lot of reading material at home every night that I need to go through so I can get caught up on a lot of things. Because if you think of the things I just rattled off, we're involved in just about everything.
Absolutely.
From government affairs to our education partners here and working with them. You got to understand the way that those organizations operate so that you can speak to them when you're talking to another company and you're just relaying information. But somebody has to be that middleman. That's us. That's the Chamber of Commerce. But yes, my wife and I are active in the community. We've delivered meals for Meals on Wheels, and that's how we found out about the run, and we participated. My wife, who is pregnant, still did the 10K run.
I'm impressed.
Right by my side. She was able to do that. So we've been down to the Friends of the Riverside trying to get involved with them to see what's going on. And we plan to be out this summer, and you'll see us at the farmers market, and you'll see us down on the Riverside on Friday nights, and you'll see us at a lot of different volunteer stuff. My wife and I have always been together on the fact that we should be engaged in our community. So out in the Springs, we delivered meals once a month for Project Angel Heart. We're both members of the Rising Professionals there. We both sat on different committees. So yeah, it's in our blood to give back and be involved in our community.
That's an awesome attribute to have. And we certainly welcome you to the community. And
Thanks.
I would say that you're very approachable. So if people
Good.
see you on the street, if people see you at the farmers market, I think you should not hesitate to stop and say hi and welcome Tim back to the community. Welcome his wife to the community. She's used to the mountains.
She is, but she's going to adapt because we've got a lot more water here. So
She said she
She's a
liked the
swimmer.
community. So
yes, she's enjoying it very much.
we're certainly glad to have you back, and
Thank you.
we wish you much success. If people want to contact the chamber, what should they call?
My cell phone's usually best, but we have a general number, or Amy, or they can stop by. I'm encouraging companies. I want to get to know the people that are in our backyard. So stop in, come see me, approach me, email me for coffee. I'll come meet anybody just about anywhere, anytime. My schedule's full for the week, but next week, we can start scheduling those appointments right away. So
Start all over.
the more people that approach me, the easier it is for me then to reach out to them. But we are here and our doors are open.
All right, doors are open for business.
Open for
Thanks,
business.
Tim.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Terry Downing. She's the Director of Community and Housing Services, and we're here to talk about Fair Housing Month.
Right.
Fair Housing Month is the entire month of April, and what Terry and her staff does to celebrate fair housing is a lot of different things. But first, let's talk about these photos behind us.
These pictures, so the state every year for Fair Housing Month, they have a fair housing poster contest that's statewide. It's for school-age children from pre-K all the way to high school. But what we do on the local level is the children from the Merrill Community Center, they have their children draw posters for fair housing, and then we display them here at City Hall, and people can vote for their favorite poster, and then we present an award at the end of the voting period.
And I remember last year we invite the student that drew the winning poster. I think there's a couple awards.
First and second place, yes.
Right, and they come to our council meeting, and so that's always really fun
Yeah.
to see them. And these, you'd have to come to City Hall and see them, and you should come down and vote for the winners because they're very cute.
Yes, they are. And the state chooses a theme every year. And this year's theme is I Have a Dream of Fair Housing, which is on the banner above all of the posters. So.
Now, what else do you guys do for fair housing in April to draw? Well, let's talk about fair housing first for a little
Okay.
bit. For people that aren't familiar with what that means, can we talk a little bit about why the city celebrates this and why we think it's so important?
Fair Housing Month is done every year on a national level to bring awareness to the issue of housing discrimination. So housing discrimination happens when people are treated differently in their terms or denied housing in lending, renting, purchasing a house. So this month we do activities to bring awareness to that, to open up a discussion and talk about remedies and things like that.
Now, the Equal Opportunities Commission, I heard that they had a big event on a Saturday to really kind of highlight how this happens. Can you talk about that event that happened?
Sure. On April 5th, we had a mock hearing, which is a hearing in front of our Equal Opportunities Commission. So I'll talk about the first part of what the hearing is.
Sure.
So if somebody were to bring a complaint, the city here has a local fair housing ordinance. So if somebody thought they were being discriminated against, they could file a complaint with me or our staff, and that would be investigated by a fair housing investigator. And if there is housing discrimination, they would try to do mediation to get the parties to agree. But if they can't agree, it would actually go to a hearing in front of our EOC. So what this mock hearing was, because we're lucky enough that we can mediate a lot of these and we haven't had to have a hearing. But if there ever was a hearing, it's nice to do a practice to make sure everybody, knows what their role is and what they're supposed to do and how the process works. So what we did was we worked with the UW Law School's Neighborhood Law Project. We had second-year law students come in and represent two parties, the complainant and the respondent. And we had teams of law students work with actors who were actually, and we had a fake case that was just, a made-up case. And Jim Van Bogart, who was an exiting counselor, played the landlord. He did a very good job. And so everybody benefits.
And it's important for our residents to know that the city takes this very seriously, and that people that are applying for rent a place or even financing, that they should be treated equally regardless of what their situation is.
Right.
And Jim Van Bogart, when he spoke at our last council meeting, he mentioned that it went really well. It's something that he has a law background, and he said that it was really helpful to see how it plays out. And so the city should also be commended for having an Equal Opportunities Commission.
Yes.
And then you're the staff person for that, correct?
Right. Yep, we meet every other month on even months. Our next meeting is April 16th, which is a Wednesday, next Wednesday. They focus on, race issues in general. So not just fair housing. We do have a process in place for fair housing, and they have powers and duties under fair housing enforcement of our local ordinance. But they also talk about any kind of race issues, and they'll do things to facilitate the discussion of equal treatment in all things.
That's exciting, and I know that the city's proud to have this commission, and they don't meet all the time, which, I guess you could look at it a couple different ways, but it's important for our residents to know that we have someone that can advocate for them. And if someone had a question or felt like they were being discriminated against, what phone number should they call?
They can call me directly, and my phone number, are you going to flash it on the screen? Okay. Hopefully it'll be flashed on the screen, so they can call me and I can answer any questions that they might have.
Okay, and what's your number?
608-364-6705.
So if you have any concerns or even questions, or you're interested in being on the Equal Opportunities Commission, call Terry Downing. And Terry, as always, thanks for being on our show.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Linda from Visit Beloit, and this is Matt. And we just wanted to tell you about some of the great things we have coming up to do in Beloit. So Matt, will you tell us a little bit about a bike race that we have coming up in Beloit?
Yeah, we've partnered with the Tour of America's Dairyland to bring a bike race to downtown Beloit on Monday, June the 23rd. It's an 11-day series that travels all around Wisconsin.
Okay.
We have race number 5 will be here in Beloit. The races start at 11 a.m. And they'll go until about 7:30 is when the last one ends up. It'll be right down here on Grand and kind of right through the downtown, right about the area where the farmers market takes place. When we have that race, we'll be looking for about 600 to 700 racers down here.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we're going to have a nice little street fair with some free events for kids and also some vendors and things like that going on right down on State Street.
Okay, great. I remember last time we had a bike race down here. It was very, very fun. We had a lot of people that came downtown, and it was just a great event. So it's very fun.
We're hoping this one will be good too.
Good. Can you tell them how they can register? Is registration available yet?
Yeah, if you go on the website of the race group, it's www.tourofamericsdairyland.com. You go on there and you can check out all 11 races and get more information on the event here in Beloit. And there'll be more details coming soon, but the general registration is on there and information about the series.
Good, good. And we also have something called a Cube tournament. So tell them about that.
Yes, Cube is coming here. That one's going to be on Saturday, August the 2nd. It'll be in Riverside Park. It's considered, it's a backyard game. It's chess, Viking chess is kind of the nickname of the game. It's a big game over in the Norway and areas like that. We're going to be having that game. It's caught on quite a bit here in Wisconsin and Iowa, and that, like I said, will be in Riverside Park on August the 2nd. I believe that the registration for that starts at 9, and then the competition will start about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. We're working on getting the registration live, but it's going to be through Parks and Rec. So you can contact us here at Visit Beloit or Parks and Rec, talk to Sonia over there for more information on how that event's going to work. And check it out online. It's KUBB is the game. Just Google that and you can see how the game is played.
And they used to play it with bones, but we will actually have wooden pieces here.
Yes.
And we have some other events that are taking place or that they're thinking about bringing here this summer.
Yeah, we've got quite a few softball and baseball tournaments coming out to the YMCA complex on Prairie Avenue. We've partnered with Bison Sports as well as USSSA softball, and then there's another group called Spider Sports, I believe, that's coming out for their tournament. So we'll have about 12 or 13 tournaments coming out to the YMCA complex this summer. And then I just got back from a conference in Oklahoma City where we met with about 15 other sport industries, from fishing and dragon boat racing to soccer and lacrosse and numerous other sports that we're hoping to potentially bring in the future. So maybe not things for this summer, but maybe things for 2015.
Very good, very good. Well, good. Well, we do have some fun things that are starting to come up this summer. The pre-farmers market starts at the beginning of May, every Saturday from 8 till 1. And that is right downtown. They'll be closing off part of the street. So that'll be a great event. We have Snappers baseball games have already started for the year, so make sure you get out to them, and you can look at snappersbaseball.com for their schedule. The Greater Beloit Chamber Downtown Dash will be taking place on May 3rd. It's a 5K run downtown. You can look, find out more information on that and register at greaterbeloitchamber.org.
And that's actually the first day of the farmers market. That's the pre-sale day, so that they matched up. It's kind of in conjunction with the farmers market.
So there'll be a lot happening downtown that day. The Art Walk, just mark your calendars for this, is May 16th and 17th downtown, Friday evening from 5 to 9, and then Saturday, I believe the hours are 10 to 2. And we have a special announcement from Visit Beloit at a press conference out at the Beloit Travel Wisconsin Welcome Center, 10 a.m. on May 7th. That's all I can tell you right now, but it's going to be very, very fun, and it's something that you'll see us out and about with this entire summer. So try to look on our website, visitbeloit.com. We have all of our events that we post on Facebook, and if you can't find it there, give us a call at Visit Beloit at 365-4838. Thank you.
The close of the show. I can't believe another show has ended.
That's right. It'll be May next month.
Absolutely. I hope that you all learned something interesting, exciting, important, relevant. We had one concluding thing to say.
Yes, one update. We forgot to mention with Norma that there is a fee if you want to drop your stuff off at Leaf Lynn on the west side of Beloit. So make sure you contact them and see how much it's going to cost if you do bring your yard waste there. And just a reminder, the prescription drug drop box is here at the entryway of the police department. It is free, anonymous. It's for prescription drugs and perhaps something else if you find it, or I don't know, anything that is outdated that you don't need and you don't want to get in the hands of people who don't need the medication.
Please don't flush your drugs into the water system. It all goes into our water, and I know they filter it, but still, we prefer that you drop your drugs that you're not using, even pet drugs.
Even pet drugs, yep.
But no sharks, please.
Yes.
And it's anonymous, it's 24 hours, just get rid of them.
That's right, just drop it off and we will dispose of it properly. So is there anything else you had to?
Well, I know you mentioned it with Terry that if people were interested in applying for the Equal Opportunities Commission, that they certainly could submit an application. I just wanted to let people know that we have lots of openings. There's openings on Plan Commission, Appointment Review Committee. Practically anything that you have an interest in, please just feel free to apply. We meet once a month and review applications. So you can get applications on the website under the Boards and Commissions tab, or you can call our office, 364-6614.
Call Pam. She's the one who runs it. So thanks again to our staff for helping us film the show, and we'll see you next month.
Have a great April.